So, I just recently finished watching 100 meters and oh my god, it was amazing. Let me just start by saying that this movie is up there with Demon Slayer, A Silent Voice, and Chainsaw Man because this was absolutely beautiful. This movie featured Mob in his adult form, of course, and Zeke. I don't know what he's doing here, not gonna lie. I mean, where do I even start? This movie introduces to two main characters, Komiya and Togashi, and ever since he was a kid, Togashi had always been really fast. On the other hand, we have Komiya, who is a gloomy kid that runs a law because he wants to escape reality, essentially causing himself even more pain than the reality he faces every day. One day, Togashi sees Tomiya running around in his neighborhood and decides to coach him. From there, we see a series of events and one last race before Komiya vanishes. We then get a time skip to Togashi's middle school years where he's still dominating everyone in track. Over time though, Togashi starts feeling afraid. Another mini time skip happens. Shortly after, we're introduced to a new female character, finally, named Asakusa Aoi. She tries recruiting Togashi, but he initially declines the offer. However, he later comes in terms with himself and realizes that running is where his love truly is. He decides to run a 4x200 meter relay race with his club members alongside one of his old friends, Nigami. And they eventually place second in that relay race. The story moves forward and reintroduces Komiya, which we all knew he was getting reintroduced, who is now extremely fast but struggles with running due to a previous injury in his right foot. We're also introduced to Kaido, who's ranked number 2 in the nation, and Zeitsu, who's been ranked number 1 for a long time. While there are other characters, the story mainly focuses on these 4, each with their different motivation for running. Side note though, that this shot deserves more praise because this is one of a kind animation. I mean, Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer all had a different animation style, but this rotoscoping style really fits the anime. With a few exceptions, of course, because why does Togashi look like that? Anyway, from there we get a series of time skips and races until Komiya, Togashi, and Kaido all end up competing in the same race. The movie ends with both Togashi and Komiya smiling. And keep that in mind, Komiya is your typical gloomy kid, so him smiling meant a lot, followed by a black screen that never shows who really won. I think this was done intentionally because the movie was never really about who was gonna win. It was about each character facing their beliefs and the societal constraints placed upon them. What I find crazy is that these characters go through years of training, gym sessions, track sessions, early mornings, strict diets, physiotherapists, massages, sweat and tears, just to name a fraction of their journey. Ultimately, what comes down to about 10 seconds of effort. Everything they work for, their hard
black
work,
screen
dreams,
allows
and
the
goals
viewers
can either
to
come true
interpret
or
who
get
really
completely
won.
crushed
Not
in
just the
those
race,
10
but
seconds,
in the fight
against themselves and society. Now that we know what the movie is about, let me talk more about the title of the video. When Togashi was a kid, he mentioned that he was treated well by society because he was fast at running. He didn't really know what he was running for, only that he was good at it, and he made running a part of his identity. As he grew older, however, his motivations declined while the competition increased. Every year Togashi entered a race, he no longer knew what he was running for, and he started to fall behind. And this is where society started treating him like garbage. He had no wife, no income because his contract was about to be cancelled, and no proper friends because he spent all his time running. He had nothing. This teaches us a very valuable lesson. Society treats falling behind not as learning, but as failure, pushing people into a downward spiral in their mental health. Similarly, when we look at Japan's number 1 ranked runner, Zeitsu, we see a parallel story. He was an ambitious kid as well, but being at the top eventually became boring because everyone else was too slow. By the final race against Kaido and Komiya, he no longer gave it his all. This shows that as a society we often celebrate success. For example, when Usain Bolt broke the world record of 9.58 in 2009, but ignored the aftermath, the trauma, the burnout, and the relentless training that comes with it. Usain Bolt once said that after achieving his dream of winning 3 Olympic gold medals, he retired early not because he was afraid or overwhelmed by the pressure, but because he had already achieved his goal and there was no fuel left to chase something greater. This same feeling is reflected in Zetsu's character, which ultimately led him to retire after placing 5th in the semi-final race. My personal favorite character in this show is Kaido, because this guy has some of the coldest lines in the show, because holy crap, just listen to this.
Komiya.
準決勝第2組まもなくスタートです。財津と小宮にカイドウがどう食らいつくのか注目です。
This is what got me into this movie.
これが現実ってやつか。じゃあたった今から現実から逃げようか。
To conclude, 100 meters shows us how society treats human worth to performance, whether you're running or falling behind. The pressure never disappears, it just changes form. That's it from me. I want to hear your take in the comments, so please like, share, subscribe, I guess. If we hit 100k subscribers, I promise you, I'm gonna make my personal anime favorite anime tier list. Thank you.